Okay, I'm live. All right. Oh, that scared me. I thought I was going to have to do another one of those redos. I thought I was going to have to kill the stream and start again. I hit the go live button and it says live streaming is not available right now. All right, we got some people showing up. 20 people watching right now. All right, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you being here. I'm looking over at the screen. Hi, Susan. Thanks for being here again. RJ back again. And we've got Leanne back again. Good morning. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna see. I'm all sweaty right now. I started the day with the jog outside. Man, our weather's getting warm. Felt good out there. Run a little bit. It wasn't a real hard run, but all right. We're gonna paint more on this scene. I'm gonna try to finish it. I'm gonna see if I can just finish the picture during this video. Vazamarak TV art. I like that username. Very hard to say. I tend to give more, looks like another conversation, but I like this. I tend to give more weight to the expressive aspects of my portraits. Most of the people I know hate it, but I can't change my style. Well, I think Picasso was like that too. I think Picasso had the ability to paint as lifelike as he wanted, but considered it more valuable art to go with a much more abstract look. Bubbles! All right, we're going to put bubbles in there. Wings and Things Studio. I'm curious about that username, Wings and Things Studio. Mr. Tomato says, hello, Mr. Tomato. Welcome back again. Love watching your process. Thank you for sharing. Hey, my pleasure. Noeletta. Thank you. Luciano Loretto. Thank you for being here. Hi, Joe and everyone. Hi, RD and AC. RD and AC. Oh, I'm curious about what is RD and AC. Purple hearts. Cool. Nice. All right. Who else have we got here? Hey, y'all, says Dri. I don't know how to say Juie. Hey, welcome. Greetings from Cotamundi. All right, cool. Says Neon Gaming 707. All right, cool. Thanks for being here. Bridget Shelby says hello. All right. Hey, Bridget. Sorry, I said Bridget. All right. We got a lot of warm greetings from people. Thank you. Oh, your sons and your initials. Okay, cool. Now I know. I was thinking air conditioning. I saw AC. I was thinking like air conditioning, but it's kind of on the brain right now because I worked up a sweat. I was like going for a jog. I should have thought about that. Like, hey, you got to get on camera in like 5 minutes. You might not want to get all sweaty. But it doesn't look too bad. On there. I discovered something that I think is pretty valuable for a guy like me that really has a lot of shakes. I get a lot of tremors. But I noticed this, that if I go on real like anaerobic exercise, you know what anaerobic is? It's where you're kind of starving yourself for oxygen. You run, you know, like fast for too long or something like that, so that you're just really gasping for air. Your system's running out of oxygen. And you look fine. All right, thanks, Val. Thanks. And So if I do that, this is going to sound stupid, but if I do exercise like that, where I'm running real hard for a little bit without eating, so that I'm already hungry and feeling depleted, then I do it. It's like a fast metabolism change right at the beginning of a day. And so then it steadies everything out. I'm like real even keel through the day, which for me is real important because, if I just get up in the morning and just, eat a banana, I'm hungry, just eat something with some quick energy, I start shaking. It's crazy. But it's always been that way. It runs in my family. It's not a disease, or it doesn't get worse. It's just like that. My screen goes dark. Oh man, I can't help you with that. Hello, Joe. How are you this morning? Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you very much, Fiddlesticks. Thank you for being here. Hi there. Painting has helped me after my brain injury. Wow, cool. That is good. That's really good. Yeah, it does. Painting does. I find drawing or painting, creating, sculpting, anything like that where I'm using that creative flow to make something I'm imagining. Even singing, trying to make a song, playing guitar. Those things distinctly use a different brain activity. They really do. And so sometimes it's very relaxing. If I got things on my mind, I just focus, and it helps all my facial tics go away. Sometimes this really happens to me. I really curb it when I'm on camera because I'm focusing, I'm real dialed in. But I see other people with the same tendency, and I'm just done being like embarrassed about it. But over blinking, tics like this, when you don't need to blink, it's just something starts happening where you train yourself, it becomes muscle memory. Next thing you know, you're doing all kinds of face flexes when you don't need to. That happens to me. It's been that way since I was just little. Maybe some mild form of Tourette's, but creativity, getting behind a paintbrush or pencil, it's gone. And I just focus. So I know that it's a real distinctly different part of the mind. And you know what makes it get really bad? Too much time on the computer trying to crunch numbers. Malfunction. My son has tics too. Yeah, well, I recommend experimenting with something really, really engaging and creative. Try, get him into some kind of art. See if it, I don't know. Maybe he already knows that. Usually people kind of know things. That I saw a guy start singing once that had Tourette's. He started singing, and all of a sudden it's boom, he's normal. Or there was a guy on that famous show. Oh, it was America's Got Talent. They're one of the famous contestants on that. Like real extremely autistic, his mom said. I don't know if a lot of you also saw that. It was amazing how totally different person once he starts singing a song. So painting and drawing is that thing for me, in a more mild way. I don't struggle that extremely. I just tell my wife and kids, I say, we got to tell each other when you're starting to do it, say, you're doing it. You just got to say you're doing it. And then I just say, oh yeah, sorry, I'm doing it. No shame. You got to take the shame out of it. So I'm going to warm up here. Just get going with some of my foreground progress down here. I'm just going to aim down here toward the bottom. Hello, everyone, says Isabella. All right, welcome. Thanks for being here. He is a chiropractor. He is brilliant, like an artist. Oh, cool. Sometimes my shape helps me with doing something. I have had familiar tremors since 20s. Oh, okay. Wow, since 20s. Of course, I don't know how old you are right now, but yeah, I grew up with it. Ever since I was a little kid. My great grandmother also was a painter, and she did it real seriously, taught classes. I've got some of her paintings, and she's severely shaky. She would tell her students, well, to get this technique, you have to be able to shake like me. She's got texture on her canvas. Me, I'm too much of a control freak. I like to do just what I want it to do. I like this. Oh, I forgot to get my brush wet. I always like to get it wet first. I get my brush wet because the paint, you know, it hits that dry surface and wants to make a crust on the bristles. If I get it wet right from the start, then it ends up being easier for me to clean down the road. So I always keep water, towel handy. Always keep those with me. I have essential tremors. They're bad. What kind of painting should I do? I love art and admire your talent. Oh man, I feel for you. You know, I don't have the solution to those essential tremors. I really don't. But like I was saying before, when I exercise real hard and get breathless, then then the rest of my day is a lot better in that way. Okay. So I'm thinking that I want to see just a little better. I'm going to keep all this in here, but I think that it's time to try to clean it up a little bit. I've got a lot of hard edges. I don't love how extreme my separation is between my light and shadows in here. So I'm going to be putting more of my yellow, and I'm just going to try to maybe get softer transition. So I've got a little smaller brush here. I'm just going to put black in here, and I'm going to try to just hit any edges that seem like a very sudden change, so I can get a little bit softer look in here. Let's go down there, get a little bit, see that soft blend? It's a little more like light coming through a leaf. I don't feel like I need a lot of detail in here, but I want a little bit better glow effect on the tips of the leaves. So now that I've got it in the place where I want it, I'm going to try to fine tune the look of it just a little bit. We got yellow. And I like to do that bright color first, put a little bit of black and blue in here, and then just work that shadow up into the light, just enough to put a little bit of color, and then we'll blend here. And I'm going to go down here to look for any eyesores. I'm going to look for things that are like, look more like a sloppy paintbrush stroke than they do a piece of my scenery. This little brush is nice for making these leaf shapes too. Look at that. Just one little stroke makes a leaf shape. I'll just kind of obscure the rest. Let's get some dark shadow in that one. Blue and black, and then I'll just bring it up in here and put a little stem going down like that. A little bit of shadow in there and there. There we go. Get some darker colors, but I'm thinking I better steer away from the real bright highlights when I get down into this section. I probably don't want as much of that. So I think I'm going to make like some bright little edges on here. Let's make bright edges, but then I'm just going to stick some blue right between it. So maybe here's some edges catching the light of some plants, but then I'm just going to my deep blue color. So what do I use? Blue, black, and white was my underwater color. So I'll put a little bit of white in there, borrow a little bit of that black, and I'll just go bring this in these edges, get some negative space in between plants that way. And I think I'll keep going down here, put some more of those blue spots, get some negative space in here. Negative space, positive space. You know what's a fun activity we do? Highs and lows. Anybody else out there do highs and lows? When you're in a group, we like to host a lot of gatherings, and we were youth group leaders for some time. It's fun when you're in a group. Say, all right, we're going to do highs and lows. You got to share back to back your low point of the day or of the week combined with your high point. You balance it out. So, well, my low is this, my high was this. The best thing that happened, the worst thing that happened. It's a fun activity. So if anybody's got a good high and low to share, you should do that. It'd be fun. My low this week was, just after right after the first live stream that we did, we went to pick up a refrigerator that we saw on Craigslist. We went to pick up a refrigerator. And so it looked good on site. But when I started putting it together in the house, there were parts missing from the handles that go on. The engine was loud. It had problems. And then we got two refrigerators. One's even worse than the one we already had. I was like, oh, man, that was my low. Because I spent the whole day doing that instead of making the videos that I wanted to make. And I was bummed, because I didn't have the gratifying sense of accomplishment for either thing. I didn't get to make my videos, and I didn't get a refrigerator like we wanted to get. All right, let's get some of this in here. So then the high was, I think the high are these moments when I'm here painting. That's probably the honest high, but we got the refrigerator to work, and we actually discovered it was the exact same kind of refrigerator as the one we already have. Same kind. So I took the nice doors off that we liked, the one we bought that was loud and dysfunctional, took the doors off and put them on our old one to make it look like we want. We just used the parts. It ended up working out. So we upgraded. We ended up having an upgraded refrigerator. And then I felt like I accomplished something. And I thought, wow, now this is funny. This is funny that you can throw a big wrench in the gears. I didn't get my work done like I wanted to. I didn't want to work on a refrigerator. But since it happened, I actually felt accomplished after I got that thing done. It resulted in me feeling like I accomplished something. That was my high. Your ability to see things before you paint them without a reference is amazing. Thanks. Oh, lots of practice, you repeat things. Okay, I'm just putting some negative space in here. A little bit more. And this is a good opportunity just to get rid of anything that doesn't look great to me, just put a little bit of that color in there. And in the end, what I want to see is a lot of these vertical stems going down. So I've got some perspective in here. So I'm going to put a little bit more in there now. Let's go a little bit more yellow going down. Let's put one here, a little further in the background. Yellow. I'm going to go right up through here. Let's put one in here. Coming down this way. A few little leaves, but I got to remember to put lots of black in there where it's low. It's down low, it's in the distance. I just want just enough that it looks like maybe a little bit more distant seaweed going up. Kind of obscure the bright colors. Let's put more black right here. Haha, your creative mind worked for the fridge project. Yeah. It was our very last minute idea. I was like, well, we could try just switching out the parts since they're the same refrigerator. Sounds like a lot of work. Yeah, but none of it was really all that hard, we all know how it is being stuck at home right now. Lots of options to fill your time. Okay, I'm making more leaves going up. I'm just going to make some darker colors. How about some more of those shapes? If I just get a lot of shapes kind of oriented up and down with that black, blue, I think that's going to work out good. Let's put a little bit more in here. Look, here's a good spot for a more distant stem coming down. It's amazing what little tiny details can do for a picture if put strategically you know, in certain spots. You just get the details in these places where you want to see just that little suggestion of a further away object somewhere. And it just hardly takes up any space on the canvas, but it's put in just the right spot. And it does a lot for it. This, I realized, you know what, all this bright color, I want this to be like it's down in the shadows, and then I loaded it up with that bright color. So I want to keep those stems, but really darken this down. Let's bring this down in here, put a little bit of light coming out of it, just a little bit. Let's get this white and put it in here. And I feel like that area is kind of weird looking, doesn't look like anything to me, so I'm just going to put a blob of blue right there, a little bit of black. I think a lot of the time when I'm just in creative mode trying to build the scene, I'm going like 50% manually creating things that I want to see, but 50 sloppy, letting the brush, you know, just sticking with the technique. Like, okay, well, I know if I do horizontal shapes, blue, black, then it's going to end up resembling this. If I just stick with these colors, it's going to resemble some kind of shapes. And I'm giving my imagination something to look at, because it's much easier to adjust what you see than it is to come up with just the right thing the first time. It's just not practical for me to have that workflow, you know, to try to come up with just the right result the very first time I hit the canvas. Even my best results, sometimes I hit the canvas, I get a really cool thing right to start with, but that just means that it's going to be even better if I do it again. Right, here's another stem coming down. I'm just making shapes that go up like this, up like that, some leaves. Then I'm going to put black right in the middle of that. Here's some blue too, black and blue. Let's go right in here, get lots of dark shadow on that. But this time I'm going to do a little better job blending my shadow into my leaves to get a little more finished look. I noticed when I was looking at a lot of kelp growing from the sea floor in pictures, I noticed it kind of has a, you know, like a brownish hue. Sometimes it can be a little bit on the brown side. So I think this tone will look good in the picture if I just get the brightness right. You know, I just got to watch out for the brightness levels. There we go. Now I'm just looking for any little shapes that look non-leafy. You know, wherever I have a shape that looks more like a blob than a leaf. Put a little bit in there. Look, this doesn't look like leaves. Let's go like that. I've always said, you know, I haven't always said, something I like to say is that a highlight is not a highlight if you put it everywhere. So I got to watch out with all this bright color that I don't just go crazy and just put it on everything, you know. That looked like a fun place to put it. I'm going to put black in here going down, kind of blend it into there, go down here. And maybe some blue. Blue as it goes down into this deep water. I'm going to get a little more black. I want to see this stem. This is right here close to the front of the picture, so it's okay to use this. It'll end up looking pretty good to put this dark color in there. Let's go this way. Just a matter of deciding when is it too much? When is enough, you know? I think it'd look better if I didn't see this coming across here. I thought it was cool at first. I did one like going over. It didn't work out so good. I don't love the way it looks, so I'm just gonna put blue, black, and white over it. I think circle shapes are better looking in this. So let's just kill that spot. We'll do blue right here. I love that dark blue color, man. I think if I had to choose a favorite color, you know, they all need each other, you know, colors. It's a life lesson, you know. They need each other in order to look good. They make each other look good, just like we do. We make each other look good, don't we, in life? Everything I do badly makes you look like you're good. That's the way it works. That's why we don't like it. If we're being honest, you know, it's always threatening when somebody comes along. You know, I see somebody starts up a YouTube channel and in a month they've got, you know, 3 times the viewership I have. I'm like, oh, man. You got to curb that human nature. So colors, you know, if I had to pick a favorite, it'd be this turquoise. I love that blue. I love it. But then it's got to have all of these other colors around it to make sense and to have that pop. It's going to have all that. There we go. I like that more vertical. Then I can kind of put perspective of multiple stems down here. Let's do a couple more. In here. Let's reapply this so that I can put some more dark color in there and just bring it down. Reapply that. Let's put a couple big leaves on there. That'll be fun. Oh yeah, there's a big one. It's fun to have big ones. Like that. Put a little bit of black on this shadow. And I'm putting this black in here because I've got it backlit. You know, this is just because I want it looking like the light is coming from up and we are down in the depths looking at this mermaid descending into this lower world here. And so I want that look of backlit objects. Blend a little bit of shadow into these leaves, a little down here. We need more shadows down in here. Not too much bright color. It's nice to be able to look over and you keep seeing me turn my head and look. I'm seeing my painting as I'm seeing the live chat. I'm also seeing my painting come together, you know. It's fun to be able to look at that. All right, let's get a little bit more of this blue in here. We're almost done with this area. I'm liking that better than when I started. I'm going to put some more of that blue behind this, put some more in here. Let's put a spot of that blue right there, maybe right here. Here, this is too bright. Let's get rid of these real bright areas that are down low like this. Put a little more of this dark color in there. I'm always borrowing the paint from another part that's still wet, you know. It's quicker than dipping my brush again. So if I can, I'll just look for a spot. Look for a spot that's already got the paint on it, not dry yet. If I know I need a color. It's just my workflow. You know, if you turn something into a workflow by doing it a lot, it's much easier. It's hard to just remember everything you're told to do or that you want to try. But if you spend time turning it into a workflow, it just becomes second nature. So my workflow is, identify the color I need, scan the canvas for anything that might have it not dry yet. If I can, I'll borrow it from there. And then if I need to mix it, I do that. There, we got a little bit better depth in there. I think it needs a real big close one in here. Now we can, now that we've kind of got the, now that we've got the up and down shapes set up a little bit better. We got the mermaid over there. I'm gonna see if I can get the greens to come out on this. Give me a second, see if I can boost up the greens on this. Let's go right here and take this down. And saturation will go up a little bit. What's that look like? That's better. Yeah, it's better on greens. Boy, that blue is like explodes off that painting now. That's a good look. I'm using the brightest colors I can on here. Second nature for Joe. Nowhere near a reality for me. Well, you know, I just mean when you repeat a process over and over, you get, I mean, I dedicated my career to that process. You know, it was no small amount of hours doing that. But so, you know, you get familiar with one thing, you add something to it, get familiar with those two things, add something to it. It was more like that. I was nowhere near this level of fluency with putting together a picture when I first started. Man, I should show you. I wish I had a picture on hand to show you the first mural I did for a customer. Actually, I think I do. If you look, is that still on my website? Might be. Boy, I don't even know the link to point you to. Sorry. That'll have to be in the future. There's nothing that would be too much of a tragic loss if I put a big thing of seaweed going up like this. So I'm going to put a leaf going here like that. And I'm going to spend a little more time building this one here. Let's go down like this. Maybe go down this way. Let's put some bright leaves here and here. Well, it is kind of a bummer to lose the peak of that little city in the background. I'm a little bit sad that I just did that. Wait. I changed my mind. I don't want to do that. I'm going to scoot it over. This is the nice thing about water-based, especially wall paints. If you do this with acrylics and tubes, it's not going to work so good. Man, look how fast that was like glued on there. Never in a million years would you ever see Bob Ross do a thing like that. He would just accept it and move on. But this is for all the people that don't always have happy accidents. In a world where there are mistakes and you actually did want to save your background. Oh, man. Water time. All right. Just erase it. That's all I gotta do. I'm gonna scoot it over because I don't mind cutting off the edge of this, but I like that little castle looking thing back there. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I don't want to get rid of that. That's a fun part of the picture. So we're gonna go here. Wouldn't it be funny if I did the exact same thing? Let's go like this, down here. Maybe make it go through here. Yeah, better location right there. Make it nice and big. Let's put some leaves just going different directions off this. You know, we've got them, they're not just going up to the sides. You know, they come forward, they go back. You got all kinds of different directions on those. So I'll take some shadow color and put some, let's just mix it on this guy right here. Let's do blue and black for a shadow. And go in here and just put a little bit of shadow on each one of these leaves. Like this. Put a little bit in here. If you just get, if you just get the colors dialed in, then I'm always surprised at what little shapes I actually think look good when I just get the colors I need. All right, let's get darker colors now. Put a little more of this. Ooh, I like that dark leaf right there. That's fun. Let's put another one here. It's kind of in a shadow. That going down right there. I'm going to put another leaf right here. If I make this getting smaller as it goes up, then it kind of puts us at a low perspective. So see how I sloped it? I'll put another couple big leaves coming down closer. So maybe like right in here, we do a like that, but not too bright. Let's put our shadow colors on there. Like that. Put another one in here maybe. All right, let's put just a couple more. Maybe it'd be cool to put a big one right there, kind of coming forward. If you want to make light shining through a leaf, here's how you do it. Brighter areas are yellower. It doesn't matter how yellow, just yellower than the shadow. So if I want light to shine through this, we're looking at the underside, not the top side. If I want to control that look, I'm going to make light shining through the tip of it, but not the base of it. We're going to put blue. So now it's moving away from yellow as it goes to the shadow. Going to the underside. Then let's just blend that up like this, make a gradient. That's how we make light going through a leaf instead of bouncing off the surface of it. Then maybe we can put like a little vein through the middle, kind of enhance the look a little bit. Like that. All right, so I think that's enough for that one. Now let's move over here. And it'd be kind of nice to see a big fat stem coming down though. Put a big dark stem, like somewhere down in there. Just give me something to look at. Fuel for imagination. Just put something dark right there in the shadow. This is in the foreground, so I can get real dark with it. Like that. All right. I see some areas that I can make a little softer up in here. Let's make them not those hard edges, real soft. There we go. Soft. When I say soft, I mean like not the sharp separation between the different colors so much. Let's blend these a little bit. Like that. That'll give me a little bit more of a, I don't know, less of the shapes that don't look like my seaweed will catch my eyes if I do that. Let's put a little bit more of this. Feels like it just needs a dark stem going right down through there. Okay. We got to move on. That's too much. I'm going to go over here to the forest and show you how I get some depth and texture in there. Let's slide over here. We're going to take a look at this area now. And I can build a lot more depth and shapes in here, really make that look like a deeper, mysterious, foresty area. So I'm going to do that right now. Nice effect, Joe. All right, thank you. You know, it's just taking the guesswork out of things. Effects, you know, all I'm doing is just saying what causes this effect. Let's just take the guesswork out of it, know what colors make it. That strand looks better than the others. Yeah, I mean, I manually did each leaf. It does look better. Seriously, looking amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sorry, Joe, I have to leave. Hey, well, thanks for being here, Diana Burgois. Sorry, I don't know how to say that name, but thank you. Thank you for being here. Our new baby chicken coop. That's fun. We want eggs. I got a next door neighbor. I buy the eggs from his chickens. No, I said that wrong. Let's just leave it at that. I buy the eggs from his chickens. His chickens charge me $5 a dozen. Jellyfish, perhaps. You're welcome. All right, cool. The jellyfish would be fun, but I'd have to make it up because I don't know what jellyfish. I don't know the parts. You know, the things that I paint from imagination, I've studied the parts to it. I don't just have everything in memory, and I have to have actually studied that thing. So if you want to see me just kind of fudge my way through it as much as I can remember about a jellyfish, that's what I'd be doing. Tentacles. Yeah, that would be fun. All right. We'll give it some thought. So in here, I'm going to add texture. I want depth. It already has depth because of that dark blue. The dark blue immediately creates depth. But I can get more. Let's scoot this little stool out of the way. And I'm going to go over here, rinse out my brush. And so in here, I'm going to have to get right up here next to it. In here, I can actually build the negative space out a little bit. So see this brighter blue in here? I'll just say, all right, let's take that color, match it, and then I'll bring it down into the picture a little bit more. So I'm going to make myself a patch of my atmosphere color that's up here above. So see, I'm getting darker. So it matches right about here. It's starting to match the tone because it dries darker. So let's get a little bit more of the blue, tiny bit of black. Looks like I need more blue and black still. Here's some black. Oh, that might be too much. Let's get more blue. Just get a big pile of it. It's gonna go far for me to be able to do a bunch of shapes in here. Okay, that looks good. Now that's light enough that I'm gonna see this shape. So see this right here? So some kind of foliage or something in there. Let's grab this color and just start putting patches of it down here. I feel like it needs to be a little bit bluer. And I'll bring it down here. I'll put it in here. Let's make some trunks. Straight line. Just go like this, straight down here. Another one straight down here. Let's put another one in here, right here. Look, we can just make distant limbs and trunks, whatever kind of shapes. They don't have to go up and down. We can go side to side. I'm just putting shapes in here to create a further layer of who knows what kind of a forest. Let's put one right by this tree so it looks like it goes behind. See that right there? And I'm just careful not to make this color, you know, I'm trying to just get it right in that pocket that's between, you know, just darker than this, just lighter than this. So when it dries, I can just barely see those little edges. So it's really, really fine tuning this. When you're doing an underwater scene, you just don't have a lot. You don't have a lot of difference between, not a lot of contrast is what I'm trying to say. The water, you know, the water atmosphere really just takes down the contrast, all except maybe your darkest shadows in the foreground. You always have that in a painting. Maybe I shouldn't say always. So I'm just putting patches of color back here, and I just make less and less of it as I go down that way. And I'll get lighter as I go here to try to blend this into the existing atmosphere up there. So let me just do a soft blend in there. Let's do some little tiny shapes to really make this look more distant. So if I only do big shapes, it's a little bit harder to create distant objects. But if in a few spots I really just, you know, make clusters of real tiny shapes, then it helps to say, hey, those are distant objects, so the shapes all together are smaller. So then we get more depth. All right, then I think I'll put a little bit more of these dark trunks in. So here I've got my blue that I used for these. So we've got black. Let's take some blue and let's put some shapes going down here like this. This is mostly blue. So I'm going to have some fun making some closer shapes now that I've put my background in. Let's put this bluer color, and I'm just mixing it with the black, but it's a lot of blue. Let's put some going, maybe let's just put one going across here like this. Maybe a little white here. Let's go over here, get a little bit of white to use. I don't quite need it in its full darkness yet. Let's go across, make some branches going this way. They don't all have to go up and down. Get a little more of that dark color in there. I'm going to go over here, and this is going to dry darker, so you'll see this in about 5 minutes. You're going to see this a lot better, these branches that I'm making. So if it feels like you're matching the color, you're not. You've got to go lighter if you want to match the color. Okay, let's put some more of these darker trunks just closer. This one maybe goes up and behind right here. Let's make this one. Let's make this one a little more of that blue color too. I like this color. So I'm going to turn this one into a more distant shape as well. Maybe just a stump though. Just a few shapes, you know, is enough to build it. So I just want things from different depths represented. And once I get a lot of different depths represented, all of a sudden it feels like a 3D world, even if I don't have a whole ton of objects doing that. You know, just a quick representation of a lot of different layers. Maybe only have like 1 or 2 things at each depth. You know, I don't need 20 things at each depth. And doing this technique of painting in the negative space and in the positive space, I feel makes the process go a lot more fluid and fast. Yes, that's right. I'm cleaning my brushes with water. It's water-based paint. Yeah. It's nice. I'm in this small area, you know. Paint thinner fumes, they fill the house. I did a big oil painting for a friend in this room of the mountains in Chile. Torres del Paine. You can look up Torres del Paine, and it was like a sunset scene. It was real cool photo, but I just did it off of a photo. That's kind of a lost painting. I didn't post anything about it, but he's got it hanging in his house. It came out great. I was reluctant to post very much about it because it was almost entirely based off of a photographer's work. You know, I'm going to put some real close objects now going through here. I feel like it'd be real cool to have like a big, somewhere in here. I just want a huge branch coming down there. I'm gonna back up for a minute and look at this, or I can look at it here. This is like backing up right here. Where could I put a huge branch? I want foreground, you know, real dramatic foreground. And so might be cool to just bring something right down. All right, we still got that. I am real strategic about where I put these things, because why do a bunch of work just to destroy it, you know? So I try to think, oh, well, where's a good spot to put it where it adds another layer. And so I think right up off of this would be cool. Let's put a big branch going like this. And then we're going to get bigger and bigger as it goes up here. Just really make a big shape. And then we've got some perspective. That'll be fun. Gets smaller as it goes that way. Oh yeah, that's fun. And then I'll put some highlights on it. And so let's put some yellow. And I think that I like this better. So here, I liked it when I added the white and I grayed out the highlights. That was a better look on these for this underwater. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to add this yellow here, and then I'm going to add white as well. Like maybe this thing is just covered with some kind of a underwater plant, barnacles, moss, something. Goes through here. Let's go there, and then let's put the same thing on this one. I'm going to adjust that color and add a little bit of blue to it. Make it a little more underwatery. And of course, I'll get less blue as I come out into the foreground, so that pops forward right there. Blue in here. And let's put nice dark shadows on here. And then just adjust the color of that highlight. So I got, what do I got? Yellow, white, blue. Just getting a green that's bluer and grayer, not quite as yellow. So that's a real bright yellow in there. I'm going to put some white. Like that. That white works fast. Works fast to really demolish that intense yellow. Then let's put blue in there. And then I just got to get the darkness back. Yeah, there we go. I like that better. I like those colors. I'm going to get some of that bright color, put it on this edge, get some of this. See, so I need more for this, but my first step when I need more of a color is, oh, but do I have some down here? Yes, I do. I'm going to borrow that. I'm going to put it right in here. Borrow it again, put it up in here. You know, it makes me get things done faster, more efficiently. 2 jobs at the same time gets that to get this to blend. This blends more while this gets developed. So now all I'm missing is my shadow. I got to get my dark shadow back, because that was a good part of this. So let's get a little more white in here for that bright, just tiny little bits. A little bit in here and here. Under here, a little bit of a light edge, just enough to see it. And now I'm going to put that black back in there, black and blue, to get this to stay up here in the foreground. Right there. Come right across this big tree trunk. All right, there we go. Let's put that nice dark shadow on this guy too. Let's do something more interesting with this. I feel like it'd be cool if I went, let's zigzag it. I always like the unexpected. Like, okay, we expect that tree trunk to just go right over and connect. Let's not do that. Let's go like this. And kind of put a little bend in it right here at the end. So it's like kind of bending and coming out over this way, across this one. And then it goes up like that. And then this one kind of comes out from under it like that. Unexpected. I like the unexpected. Right in there. Let's put this here. All right, that's pretty fun. I want to put a little more light right here where this connects. I'm going to put darker. Let's put the underside of it. Underside of it right there, just so we can barely see a little bit of light under it, like it's swooping out and over that trunk. All right, it's fun playing with these shapes, but it does eat up time, doesn't it? It's fun. Okay, so now I think I need something on the end of this branch. We'll think about that. I'm going to put some bubbles up in here. Put some bubbles behind this mermaid, and I'm going to start by just building the edges of them like this. And I'm going to do these real similar to clouds. Treasure box with lots of bling. That'd be fun, yeah. Very old, rustic, with diamonds and jewels. I like the ideas. It'd be cool. That's what she's after, huh? She's going to explore some. Okay, so getting rid of some of my brightest, whitest highlights because they were distracting from the other highlights. Gotta make sure we stay dark enough right here. Like that. I'm rinsing out the brush in my water. And now I'm going to go up here and put some bubbles in place. So the way I'm going to do this is let's put the blue and white in place first. So I'm going to make the outer edge, and it's going to be reflective. So a bubble reflects all the colors around it. You know, it's like a mirror under the water. This is underwater bubbles, not bubbles that are over the water. So I'm going to start with blue because it's reflecting all this environment. And then I'm going to put the white right here pointing toward my bright light source. So anywhere I have that, and I'm not going to put it on the very edge because look, this is going to get reflected on the edge of these bubbles. So I got to keep it blue. Let's put white right here. And right here, like this. And then we're going to just keep it aiming right toward where that light would be hitting the edge of it. So let's put a few more of these in place. Then down here we'd have our darker colors on this edge. So this is facing toward all this dark stuff. So this bubble is actually going to have a real dark underside to it. It's going to reflect that stuff. All right, so there we've got a bubble. And let's put a few more of those in here and start developing this picture. But I was actually thinking that it'd be cool. Here, let's put a few more. Put a few more in here. We've got our blue. I'm just going to put blue blobs coming up across the section. Because everywhere I see these, I can just kind of dab it a few times till I see mostly round edges. And then I've got a bubble. They're going to go up and behind. And I made them real bright right there behind the hand. So I want to have something bright behind the hand so I can have that cool backlit effect. All right, I'm starting with my bright blue. And let's go down in here, put them coming up this way. Did I say bright blue? It's not that bright. Starting with the dark blue. Dark blue in here, dark blue in there. Now I'm going to put some white. Wherever I want to have a little reflection, I just need a little bit of white. And let's see. My white's starting to separate a little bit. Let's give it a little bit of a stir. Let's put white right in here and here. Bright spots. And all I'm doing is just trying to make roundish shapes that stay off the edge and are oriented toward that left side, because I got to leave room to do the dark reflection. So it's kind of like painting underwater clouds. Do a bright reflection over on these guys. Let's put a bunch of little dots. And I feel like if I did a little bit of magenta, it'll look a little more like reflection. So if I want to go to that extreme to try to get this to look more reflecty, then I don't know, maybe it'll help. Let's get some white in here. This brush, look, see what's happening to this brush? This happens all the time. You know, it's starting to open up on the ends. I've used this a million times. I'm done. I'm not using it anymore. That brush is not helpful to me anymore because it's split on the end. So we're going with the big brush. You can use a brush like that, but why? Why would I do that? Okay, let's take this and put a little bit of magenta right in between these, just to make a little more sense of reflected light rather than translucent objects. You know, we don't want it to look like the light is shining through these bubbles. We want it bouncing off, so that little bit of magenta in there can help with that. Let's go like this. You know what I just realized? It'd be nice to get a little bit closer on the camera for this part, huh? Here, let's put this stool in here. I bet we can get a little bit closer. Electric Joe and pirates. That'd be cool. I like pirates. All right, I'm gonna put this tripod right here. Yes, closer, thanks. All right, I'm on it. We're gonna set up a little tripod and zoom right in. This camera's gonna be able to get pretty close, I think. Here, let's go up about right there. And we'll put the stool right in here. This is how I had it yesterday. This will work. What's the worst that could happen? Okay. I'm going to put this right up in my paint area. And this is where I'm going to move you to, right here, looking at this point blank so that we can see some close-up technique. We're coming in, we're coming in. Okay. Oh no, now you can see all the imperfections in my work. I was hoping you would zoom in for this part. All right, I am. I'm zooming in. We got it. Okay, let's go down just a little bit. We'll be working in that range. And so now let's dial in these bubbles. Let's put some white. Okay, so just being mindful of where the reflection is. We've got white facing toward my light source. I'm going to put a little bit of magenta in there to take down the amount of turquoise, make it more of just a slightly violet light blue. Looks a little more like reflection if I get that little bit of magenta in there. Okay, and then we're going to put more white spots. And then let's put more like right here. Oops, lost that one. Ran out of paint. And as long as it looks like reflection, I can really just mess around and make these bubbles in any shape that I want to see. Let's put white in there. Let's put some magenta here. That is too much magenta. It'd be cool if there was something magenta getting reflected. It'd be perfect if there was like, like a magenta colored flower there or something. Let's just distribute that. Just put little dashes of it where all these white spots are. Like this, and now I've got more of a reflective blue. And then I take my dark blue and redo that. Dark blue right there, reflecting all of this, all this darker underwater world here. Make sure you get plenty of that dark underside. And so here's what I think would be cool with these bubbles, is if they had like an inner glow, like maybe there's some gas inside of them that's glowing, who knows why, but it'd be a fun effect. And if I made it like in an orange, then I think that would be fantastic to look at. So I'm totally going to do that. I'm going to put some bright white on here to, let me think about this, how I'm going to accomplish this effect. Let's put some bright white right in here because I want to glow behind this hand. I've never done this, but I'm pretty confident about rendering the reflection that would happen if I had a colored light inside of an underwater bubble. So I'm going to try it. So we're going to have bright spot, and we're going to put maybe a red colored light inside here. Let's put some red and some yellow for orange. Let's put more red in there. Let's just put a little color right in here, just a little bit coming out of there. But it's gonna look like a reflection if I don't like darken that, soften up the edges or something. Here, let's go like this. I need translucency, so I have to make it red where it transitions into that blue, make that bubble glowing from inside. And then in here, let's make some blue edges like this. So these bubbles are glowing with like a reddish light. This is going to be fun. You know, fun like magical effect. Let's put more red. We need more color in there. Let's do yellow and red right here. Oh yeah, there we go, color. Put it right in here. I'm going to have to redo her hand. There, we got some color in there. And now let's do some edges reflecting what's underneath. So here's where we put blue. And so we're going to go curved edges, make the undersides of multiple bubbles, like I'm making a cloud, you know. Yeah, like that. I'm going to get more red for that. More red for where it meets the blue right here. This is darker here. And then maybe we've got, you know, I've got this bubble here, so we can kind of make, just like I'm doing a cloud, I'm making a cloud with the blue edges. Let's make a top edge where these bubbles are kind of facing toward each other. Edge here, edge here. You got to have these little curved edges to get this effect. And then I need probably the magenta in there because it starts to kind of turn green. So let's go like this. Go right here. And then I'm going to get like a separate brush for my brighter color. That one's got too much blue in it to do a good job of these highlights. So we're going to put red and yellow with this separate brush. Make a nice bright colored glow right in there. Let's go red right in here, right in here. Like this. Now I'm going to blend these edges. Everything facing, you know, all of my brush strokes as they come inward on this bubble shape. I want to make them have soft blended edges, you know, just like with my clouds. I just put gradients going inward. Let's put a darker shadow underneath that one. Maybe get some magenta. Take out the green, any green that results from the blue hitting a lighter color. There we go, cool. I like that effect. Now I'm going to do some more of it coming down. I feel like maybe it just needs a little bit more. Let's build some dark outlines for the bubbles coming down this section, like this. Blue, let's add some magenta to it so that it doesn't turn green. So toward the middle, I'm going to put this. This is the anti-green. That's what that color is. While I'm in that, I'm just going to come here and accent these edges a little bit, like this. Bubbles kind of break apart as they go up, you know, so I'm trying to have like smaller shapes as I go higher. It's a little bit hard though, not going to lie. Okay, nice round shapes. Let's get this blue. Get that in there. You know what it needs reflection of that tree on it. Let's get a little bit of black and go like that. Choo, choo, choo. Little bit, just little dots of reflection. And then I'll put put the little dots of it on these a little bit. Maybe blend these lines just a little here. Boy, it's detail work, but look how cool that is. There we go. Now we got some cool reflection on the edge of the tree. Nice. Okay, now let's come down here, do more of it. This is fun. Let's put red right in here. Put some bright light coming out of these bubbles. Then let's put some yellow in there. I need probably need my brighter brush here. Let's try to keep the brushes as separate as possible. It's glowing. A little bit of white. The blue is going to mix into that color and make it not so intense, but that's probably a good thing. You know, I think I don't want it to be real extreme, just like a glow inside of the bubble. If I just make light, you know, I feel like light is just so much of our experience in life. It's just interacting with light. You know, it really is. And so, you know, in a picture, to make it interesting, you know, it's like, what is she looking at? What's she doing? Well, if I just put light and put her looking at light, then that's relatable. All of a sudden I have relatability in the picture. I'm going to put a little more white and red in this. There we go. Get that color a little bit less gold. I kind of like the redder color better. And here, get some white. And now this can reflect, you know, if any of these are out facing this light that's up here, I can put a spot of white, boom, boom, a little bit, just bright white dot reflecting the sky above. Like this. Let's put some in here too. Boom. Right there. Kind of got a section of bubbles going upward, reflecting the sky up in here. Maybe same thing. We got a combination of the inner glow with the sky color, the skylight. All right, then I'll come down here and put those edges. So I'm just looking for edges like this. See the blue? I'm just creating gradients like this. The edges of bubbles, and the gradients go toward the middle wherever I want a bubble shape. All right. Now I'm going to put a little bit brighter blue in there. Let's get this. I'm mixing some. Here, let's go like this. Magenta and blue. We need magenta, blue, and white to get a good edge reflection. A little bit lighter. I'm going to get a little more of these edges on this guy. Like this, right here. Like this. You can add a lot of complexity to the edges of your bubbles. You know, just by going color after color right around the edge, and decide what the middle is like. Put that on there. Got to make sure I get that darker bluer edge on these too. You know, they need that darker edge where they're reflecting the blue water. All right. Let's put more bubbles. Let's put like a bunch coming down in here. So maybe some blue to start out with. We'll put a bunch of bubbles in here. Let's put some white. I want to see some reflections on the tops of them. Oh, look, they're coming right up out of this branch. Like this. Let's put some dark blue under that white, along with some magenta right here. Yeah, let's get more of that. More of that magenta. Put it in here. Right here. There we go. We got bubbles coming out of there. I'm going to put more coming down here too. This is kind of fun. We're going to just put bubbles coming all up out of these depths. Tiny bubbles, except they're not that tiny. You know, I never did learn any more of that song that says tiny bubbles. I just know that one part. Okay, just completing some of the edges, whatever I see. You know, I want to have as many completed edges as I can to really get the image to pop. I'm going to put a little bit of that reddish light inside these too. Right down in here, just a little bit of that. Add some white to it after I add that red. Right in the middle there. Put some in that bubble too. A little bit of red. I'm going to borrow that color. Okay. And then we're going to go in here and start bringing these down. I want to see more. Let's see, where are we going to put more bubbles? Put more just coming right down this, but I'm going to start running off the picture if I don't back up. So we'll finish up in here and then I'll zoom the camera back out. Okay. Maybe some up in here would be cool too. If you just do a big old, blob of white, you can put like, you know, a cloud of bright. I didn't mean for all that red to be in there, but maybe it'll be cool. You can do like a big reflective underwater splash. Whoops, sorry, bumped the camera. Like this. So I have all that white up in there. And if I just put a whole bunch of little edges that just are the color that would reflect from the environment. So I'm just going to put a bunch of little dark spots. Just put it all over. And I'm going to put it on the very edge. Here, let's go like this. Grab some blue and just outline this thing with the darker color. And then the blending is what comes after. So first I'm going to get my edges. And then I'm going to do my blending. So I'm going to use blue and magenta because I don't want that green color. So I use the magenta to get rid of it. So there's magenta. I'm going to put it wherever I've got this darker color. Let's go dark blue right here, right here. It doesn't look like much at the moment. But then when I get those edges blended, that's when it starts to look like a reflective surface. Okay, now we're going to blend right here. I'm just going to blend toward the middle of this big glowing body. You know, so any edge that's toward the middle, just like a painting a cloud, same kind of technique. So I've got this blob here. I'm going to blend this side of it because that is moving toward the center of my glow. So I'll blend this side, but leave this edge sharp to give me the edges that I would want to see for something that had a bunch of bubble shapes. Let's go like this. Let's blend this way. Let's get some more of this bright color and go right down in here. As long as I get these edges blended, then I can create the look of, you know, just a big old, maybe this was like a big old splash that came down or something, or maybe it's bubbles rising up. Just follow that systematic flow of blending the, I thought I had paint on my brush and I didn't. It was like a phantom brush load right there. Bottom edges there. Just putting blue in. As I go toward the edge of my shape, that's where I want all of the sharp edges to be. And then I blend them softer as they go inward. I'm going to put more little dark shapes in here. These will be a bunch of little bubbles. Thunk, thunk. Kind of breaking apart. This is pretty funny looking. Okay, I'm going to put more white in here. Dunk, 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 dunk. You got to make the little sound. Dunk, dunk. Got to just make sure I get the light near the top of the bubble. Let's get more white. Put some little reflections right there. I want a nice bright reflection, so it really looks like, you know, it really pops. Looks like reflection on a bubble. Bright white. Sound effects make everything better. Yeah. Makes me feel like I'm doing a great job. Okay. It's like listening to music, you know. Normally I'd be jamming. I'd be jamming to some music to, you know, to really be getting into it. I want to put some of those bubbles coming right across the front of this too. We're just going to make this go right out across the front of here. And then let's put some red color in the middle of that and some white. Give it that same kind of reddish glow as the rest of them have. Let's get that red. Coming out across that tree. Then we'll put a few little dots of white. Dunk, 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 dunk. Okay. And I feel like it'd be cool to have a bright glow behind her too. right in here. I love the dark, you know, I intentionally put like a dark light and shadow color set on the body so that when I come back in here and backlight it, I'm going to get a lot of nice contrast here. So if I put this in the background like this, come down here. Of course, I'm going to have to figure out what to do with the edges of this light. But all I know right now is that I want that awesome red-orange light behind these blue bubbles because I love that contrast that it makes. I'm going to put some yellow in here. Just blast this with some light. Like this. We got light coming from behind. We'll go in between these bubbles. Backlit bubbles. Let's put light in there, put it in here. I'm trying to paint in between the bubbles. Would have been easier to put it on first. But it's also fun to add it in and see the effect, you know. I like the light behind the mermaid. Let's put some red here so that it looks like glowing light. So if we just put that natural gradient that goes from the yellower to the redder as it moves out, then I'll have the effect of a translucent object. Just like that leaf I did at the beginning. All right, cool. I just got to figure out what to do with all this here. We'll just say it's bubbles going up there. I'm just going to have to put grab some of these edges and go put some little edges on it. You know, it's got that glow already. If I just do that and then maybe a few dots of white. I'm just going to speckle this with white now to make like distant bubbles that are just rising up to the surface. I love that light behind you. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing down here. Red, yellow. All right, we got some light behind the arm coming down. Let's make it going behind these bubbles. This is strategic right here. Now I can really make the form stand out. We're going to go here, armpit. Then I got to get a little bit bluer. So let's go like this. I'm going to make some edges on these. So let's go magenta. Uh-oh. Whoa, what is happening? All right. If we didn't lose the connection, somebody let me know on the chat there. Oops. Huh, weird. Let me see if I can fix that. Boy, that is obnoxious to look at. Time for a new camera or something, huh? Hang on. See if adjusting the cord helps. Time to get some new gear, huh? Let's see if we can get this. Only glitching for a bit. I don't know. I don't know. I think it might glitch for a while. Let's see if we can disconnect and reconnect on this. Hang on. All right.